We're both very interested and invested and engrossed in the episode. Am I right, Donna?
Man, it's hard for you to stop patting yourself on the back, isn't it?
It's hard, yes, because I've sat on this couch and been tortured with Konosuba.
Konosuba was fantastic.
What's the one we didn't even review with the little creeper dude?
Seven Deadly Sins.
That was rough. You owe me, okay? You owe me.
What's going on, guys, and welcome to another video. My name is Dono. And
Shut up! Listen, it's Dad's episode today. Dad is the one that's taken over, and I have an anime that he's never even heard of, and it's fantastic. At least the first few minutes are fantastic. Stop doing that. You're not in trouble. You don't need help. I had an idea. One of my good friends, actually former roommate of mine, and competitive, I guess, video game player? I don't know what to call it. Fighting games, whatever. He's a competitive gamer. He plays Street Fighter and Tekken and all that other stuff. Old roommate of mine told me about this show on Netflix called High Score Girl. This looks fantastic. I started to watch it. I watched the first 3 or 4 minutes. I started laughing. I was dying. I thought to myself that Dono needs to see this thing. And then there's so many classic throwback things that I have to educate his young stupid butt and all you young jabronis and clowns about how the world was back in the day. The first 4 minutes of this show had so many little throwbacks and little ideas I had to share. I said, let's record something. I got something for you. And you've never heard of this, have you?
No.
You have no idea what this is about?
No.
Are you excited?
I mean, more scared, but I guess.
Why are you scared?
Because I don't know what's happening.
But here's what you clowns have to do right now. Control-T. Open up a new tab. Go to Netflix. Maybe you're still using your mama's login. It doesn't matter. Maybe you got your ex-girlfriend's login and she doesn't know you're still creeping on her Netflix. Whatever. You log into the Netflix, you go to High Score Girl, and you queue this thing up, and you have to do one crucial step. What's the step?
Watch it?
You have to go from English to freaking Japanese.
Oh, yes.
I started watching it in English, and I was like, this is funny. And then I thought of all you little haters, all you little clowns that constantly comment that the sub is so much better than the dub. So I switched it from the dub to the squeaky voiced freaking Japanese version where everybody sounds like a girl named Tina. Okay? Today, it's all about High Score Girl on Netflix. So get ready. Are you ready? Are you ready?
I guess so.
Get your mouse ready.
Okay.
All right. So we're going to watch this, and there's going to be a lot of interruptions. I'm going to talk a lot of trash. So if you don't like Dad, just get this video and go to another Waifu Wars, or maybe he'll make some more stinking cola again. I don't know. We're going to hit play. Are you ready?
Yeah, I think so.
Here we go. Are you ready? Right now.
Yes! 9連勝決まったこのゴースの春男のテクニックに賞賛の眼差しが集まっているか
35 seconds in.
All right, here we go. America with 35 seconds in. And one thing you probably don't know. First of all, have you ever been in an arcade like this?
No, not like that.
You
kind of
damn right you never have. You know why? Because you're too stinking young. Now listen up, people. It's a spoiler alert. In the next few minutes, they're going to tell you it's 1991. In 1991, Dad was in junior freaking high school. And Street Fighter 2 came out, and it was the end of the world as we know it. Okay? Now, arcades were a thing. You had to go to the arcade to play games. You couldn't just jump on, what do they call PlayStation Online?
Sure.
Or Xbox, what is it called?
Xbox Live?
Xbox Live. You couldn't just jump on there and play the homie down the street. You had to go to the homie's house, okay? Or you had to go to an arcade where you put money into a machine to play a game. You guys saw Wreck-It Ralph, right? You loved it. You thought it was funny. You probably cried when the little girl got back in her freaking video game, whatever. But you clowns have probably never been in an arcade like this. You see all the guys standing around waiting for their turn?
Yeah.
That's how it went. If you wanted to play the hot game, which in 1991 was Street Fighter freaking 2, you had to get your butt in line and wait for your turn. And what you're about to see on the screen in just a second is people take their coins, or in this case, I guess their yen, whatever, and they put it on the freaking dash, I don't know what to call it, the little console, right?
The cabinet. To
claim their turn the next turn. So if two guys are playing, you would put your quarter in between like the player 1 and player 2, and that said you had next. Right? So that was my quarter, I got next. And then if somebody else came in and put their quarters on there, they were after you, right? So whose quarter is that? That's mine. Whose quarter is that? That's Bob's. Who's that? That's Tim's. Okay, so that was the game. You had to put your quarter up there to say you had next. You had to have money, because the other part of the equation that you clowns probably don't know is this was a spectator sport. People with no money would go to the arcade just to watch people play because it was that hot of a freaking thing. And there was always somebody who was a badass. There was always the champion. There was always a guy, and he's still on my freaking Facebook, I should hit him up. There was always a guy who kicked all kinds of butt in the game, And he was amazing, and we always wanted to beat him, okay? And everybody had their own character. Everybody had their person. Chun-Li or Ryu or Guile or Ken or whoever it was, everybody had their person, all right? So this, right now, is setting the scene for you. It's a world you don't know, a world you've never been to, you've never existed in, where people went to play video games and actually stood in line to watch and take a turn at the hottest game in the world. If you don't understand how hot Street Fighter 2 is, I can't save you. Okay, you're gonna have to do some research, some homework, whatever. But Street Fighter 2 was a worldwide freaking phenomenon, and quarters everywhere were thrown into this game. Now, we had an arcade at the mall, right? Okay. But the mall, there was no Uber, okay? There was a bus. You had to take a bus to the mall, or your parents, while they were shopping, they would give you some money to go play at the arcade while they were shopping, right? And when you ran out of money, you know what you did? You watched, like all these guys standing around watching. When you were broke, when your ass was broke, you became a spectator, okay? So this is what's happening right now. Some people are playing. These cats are watching. They're either waiting for their turn or they're broke, waiting on their mom to get out of JCPenney. All right? That's how it went. Here's the other thing, and I'm excited. Can you tell?
Yes.
Here's the other thing. There was no bus. You couldn't go. You had to go to places. So other places, there's a video store. These guys were smart. They got a Street Fighter 2 and put it in the video store. So what happened to their business every day at around 2:30 when school got out? It was the hottest spot in town. We played like this, and they're playing like in their own little booths, basically. So that's the premise. You guys have the introduction, the introduction. All right? I'm excited, and if you're ready, we're going to press play. Are you ready?
I think so.
I'm going to come back in just a second because I'm going to point something out to you. But here we go. Ready, set.
Okay.
All right, check this out. This is a major, major deal, okay?
Okay.
This girl, everybody's standing in awe watching her play, right?
All right.
And she's been over there for a minute, which means she hasn't lost, okay? She's still killing it on one quarter. And he says, who's this girl? He looks, right? And then he noticed that she's playing with Zangief, right? Or Zangief, whatever. Zangief was quite possibly the worst character in all of Street Fighter 2. Why? He was a big, stupid wrestler guy. He didn't have any moves. He didn't have a fireball, so you couldn't hit anybody from across the screen, right? He didn't have anything to cover a whole lot of distance. All of his moves were grappling-type moves. You had to be close to a person to use Zangief effectively.
Okay.
So remember Hadouken, right? You got fireballs. You got the dragon punch that covers distance. You got the blade kick. You got the cannonball, whatever they called it from Balrog, or what's his name?
Yeah,
whatever.
Helicopter kick from
Helicopter Chun-Li, yeah, the spinning round kick. There are all kinds of things that cover distance. Zangief had one little thing where he would stick his arms out and spin. He was trash.
Okay.
He was the epitome of trash. Everybody was garbage. Oh, everybody was great. He was garbage. Nobody wanted to play with this guy. Nobody. I mean, E Honda was kind of slow, but he had that torpedo thing. He had the 100 hands. So, I mean, he could cover distance too. Zangief, he spun. That was it. Not only was he the worst and probably the most boring player in the history of man, but it was hard to use him, which we're going to get into that in just a second. Now, I haven't seen anything past like minute 4 of this thing, but it's important that you know how craptastic Zangief was.
All right.
You understand that?
Yes.
Is there any kind of correlation you can give your fellow otaku of somebody who's just trash? Zangief is the Zenitsu of Street Fighter 2. All right?
Okay. Trash.
Is there anybody that's useless and trash besides Zenitsu?
There's someone.
Give me a trash guy. Give me something good.
Aqua.
Aqua is trash?
Yes.
Wait, that's the one from the tractor?
Konosuba.
From the tractor one?
Yes, she's garbage.
Half-naked chick? Yeah, well, she is garbage. All right. So, he was the Aqua of the... Aqua has powers, though. I thought she was a guy.
She's useless.
Okay, well, Zangief was damn near useless, and it took a certain somebody to want to get good with Zangief because he was always trash. And this girl's over there killing it, and she's using Zangief. All right?
All right.
Here we go. Let's keep going.
対戦にかけては自信があった。まさかあの大野が男どもを翻弄し28連勝の偉業を成し遂げているなんて。しかもザンギエフで。
All right, people, we're talking a little trash with the patrons, but just pay attention. I don't know how far we are, but he just lost to old girl, and he's over here wondering how she has this 28-win streak, and he's like, yo, how? That's really how it went down. There was one guy or a couple guys that were super badass, and if they could take your money, they would beat you for 6-7 dudes would just punks jump up to get beat down. That's an old hip-hop song. You would jump up to get beat down. They would just bam, bam, bam. So if somebody did something cheap, right, we had a lot of terminology for that. Some of it was not exactly PC, so we won't repeat it. But yeah, you'd be like, hey, man, stop doing that. You would fight like I had Chun-Li. Chun-Li was my girl. You know, Chun-Li had the super flash kick, or I don't know what to call it, where she would just and just like light you up like a Christmas tree. And if you did that too much, people would get mad. Fights would break out, like real fights would break out. Like, man, you cheater, and you know, I mean, craziness. It was serious business. So her having a 28-win streak is serious, okay? That's serious freaking business. Like, she is not to be trifled with. You got to respect a 28-win streak. That's serious business. And he's getting ready to talk about the controls right now and how hard it is to use punk-ass Zangief. I probably shouldn't say that. That's bad language. So she's using Zangief, who's not very good, or not a great character, and he's definitely not easy to use, and she's still smacking these fools around with 28 wins on 1 quarter, people. That means other people spent $7 trying to beat her, and she's over here just smacking them like chumps with 1 quarter. Crazy. Feelings so far? You have no opinion?
Not really.
You're the most chattiest clown in the world.
I am not the chattiest clown in the world.
How many times? Make sure to smash the button. I mean, now you have nothing to say.
Not really, no.
Are you enjoying it so far?
Yeah, so far.
All right, cool. Let's keep going.
Okay.
昇竜拳のコマンドが未だにできない奴もいるのに出すのが困難なスクリューパイルドライバーのレバー1回転パンチをいとも簡単に繰り出してくれ
All right, I'm coming right back because he's talking about how some people don't know how to do the moves, and that was the thing. There was no internet, people. There was no Google. You couldn't just search how to do moves. You had to figure that trash out on your own, or you had to buy Electronic Gaming Monthly, which was a magazine about gaming, okay? And you would have to say, how do you do this? And you'd read about the games. Oh, this is this person's move, that person's move. Those magazines were like treated like gold at school. Oh, my goodness. Treated like gold. You're like, oh, man. I didn't even know that Chun-Li could do that, right? And you're like, oh, and they would tell you forward, down, forward, punch, right? Bag, half circle, punch. And he's saying, some people don't even know how to do this, but she's doing this Zangief move where you have to put the whole freaking joystick in a circle and then hit the button, and it has to register, people. So forward, down, forward is not easy. On a directional pad, on a freaking joystick, it's even harder. And to do a full circle and boom, in the heat of battle was tough as nails. And she's doing it and smacking fools to the point of 28-0. So, just so you know, this was not easy. There was no Google, people. If you wanted to play, you had to ask the homie, how do I do this? Back for 2 seconds, forward and punch. Okay. It didn't work. Like, that's how it went down. You had to help each other. You had teams. You had clans. We're like, all right, homie, you like Chun-Li? I like Chun-Li. All right, do this, do this, do this. It was chaos, people. It was serious business. And if you don't appreciate it, you got to get yourself a classic Nintendo or the classic Super Nintendo and play.
It's usually up there, but it's not up there today.
It's awesome. And you can play it and try it. And the moves are the same moves as in the freaking arcade, but it's harder with the joystick, and they still have to register. You played it. Does it register every time you want to do it?
Well, if you get good, yes.
If you get good, which, have you ever beaten me at Street Fighter?
Yes.
Rarely, though.
At least 3 times.
3 times in your whole life. In 17 years, you beat me 3 times. And he's proud of it, America. He's proud of it 3 times.
Thoroughly proud of it.
You can't mess with the OG. I'm an OG Street Fighter 2 champion.
OG is a polite word for old.
No, it is original gangster. And I'm not a gangster, but I'm a gangster when it comes to Street Fighter, you jump. So, here's how this is going down. I'm going to say this. If he continues to disrespect Dad's skills, I'm going to dig up a picture of him at our old house, sitting and playing, thinking he's playing Street Fighter with a controller that's not plugged in. Don't test me. I will embarrass you all over the web with this picture of you in your freaking, I don't know, pull-ups, thinking you're playing Street Fighter with me and Ray.
That's cute, not embarrassing.
I got more than that. All right. If y'all want to see pictures of this clown trying to play Street Fighter in his draws, you let me know and put it in the comments. But let's get back to the video. Ready, go.
斜め後方下にガードレバーを入れて2種類の必殺技をためながら相手の攻撃を待ちいわゆる禁断の戦法である特にザンギエフに対しては圧倒的な強さを誇ったのだ
This is so spot on, it's ridiculous. This is a forbidden strategy. This is cheap. If you did this, you could get your butt kicked, okay? If you did this, it was like, man, you just stole my quarter. Give me my quarter back because you didn't even play it in a fair game. There's honor, people, and I don't know much about Japanese codes of honor. We're not talking about Bushido and all this other crap. There's honor among competitors, okay? And if you just wanted to turtle, as they call it, right? And just hide and try to do the sonic boom or the blade kick or flash kick, whatever. We always called it a blade kick. So you would sonic boom, you do that cheap little kick, or you would do the blade kick. And then that was like, you basically hid until you were able to defeat. So Homeboy is so frustrated that she's won 29 times in a row. He's down to his last 50 yen, aka quarter, whatever. And now he's about to go cheap. He's about to go super cheap and go at her with the cheapest, low, no honor, having, trifling move in the world. So this is so true because if you're getting whooped Every time. And you don't know how to win, you would go back to the turtle maneuver that they're talking about and just try to survive. So this is 100% accurate. I'm loving it. If you guys don't understand, you better get you a Super Nintendo Classic and play a couple rounds of Street Fighter. All right, let's go.
All right.
He beat her and broke her 30-win streak, okay? And she kicked the machine, which is so real. And then she gets up and hits homeboy with a clean right hand to the jaw. That was clean, and I appreciated it. Are you paying attention?
I am, yeah.
Do you appreciate it?
Oh, yes.
We're less than 10 minutes in, and you understand the story, yes?
Yes.
You don't have to go 3 seasons?
Yes.
Yes. All right, press play. We're good. This is how it's done, people. We're both very interested and invested and engrossed in the episode. Am I right, Donna?
Man, it's hard for you to stop patting yourself on the back, isn't it?
It's hard, yes, because I've sat on this couch and been just tortured with Konosuba.
Konosuba was fantastic.
What's the one we didn't even review with the little creeper dude?
Seven Deadly Sins.
That was rough. You owe me, okay? You owe me.
今日のお詫びとこの前の礼ってことかいな。まあいっか。
All right, so there was no hook at the end. She's just a selfish, mean girl who doesn't talk and beats the stuffing out of everybody.
And takes both lollipops.
Both lollipops. And then her driver, who I don't know if that's her family or just her hired help, literally hits old boy with the car, and he doesn't die, unlike old boy with the tractor who died of shock.
He
and wet
doesn't get
himself.
isekai'd, if you will.
Isekai'd. Is that a verb? Do people use that, or is that
Yes,
just a you thing?
that's
Okay.
something where somebody gets sent to another world because they
He
died.
did not get isekai'd. He just got ganked for both lollipops and hit by a freaking car. So tell the people what you think of this recommendation. What would you give it on an academic scale of A through F?
A through F? I'm always too generous when I grade things. So
Then be hard on it. Be dad difficult.
Be hard on it?
Be dad harsh. Yes.
All right. So there was no hook at the end, and there's not really something that makes me want to see the next episode, as you would put it.
Very true. I agree wholeheartedly. There was nothing that made me say, I can't wait to see what happens next.
And there's no like overarching plot from what I can see. It's like, oh, we play old video games, and there's this chick
It's not
who
old
likes
to them.
beating
This
me up.
is modern day.
Oh, I'm sorry. Modern video games.
It takes place in 91.
Yeah.
So to them,
It's
it's
old
current.
to me. Grade, I'd probably give it like a C+.
C plus.
Maybe a B-.
Why would you give it such a low grade?
Because you always give things a low grade.
Don't get back at me. Be honest.
Well, if it's I think it's like interesting. So if C is average,
Yes.
B- is above average,
Slightly above average.
but like lower.
You don't think this is above average?
I think it's pretty good.
So you would, based on your comments, I would say you give it a solid B. But you're trying to hate because
I'm
you're a
not
hater.
trying to hate. And if I'm trying to be
Fine.
like you, then I have to hate a little bit.
Okay, fine. So you give it a B minus on the
I'll
dad
give
hater
it-
curve.
I'll give it a B.
Thank you. I think it earns a B. But I'll take a B minus. That was your original score, so B minus it is. And I'm gonna hate on this too. I don't like that she's so stinking silent. She doesn't really talk. I don't like that she's selfish, taking both lollipops. I don't like that she's beating the stuffing out of old boy all the time. Nostalgia, I'm like at an A, but with the abuse, let's call it what it is, the abuse.
The abuse.
I gotta drop it down to like, let's say a B plus, right? Maybe A minus. And then with the mystery of her not talking, I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. The mystery could be a good thing or a bad thing. All right, so what do you think? You liked it?
Yeah, I like
Okay. You want to give your smash?
it. Okay, my spiel, if you will.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to smash that like button down below. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't already to join the best anime community here on YouTube. Ring that bell to be notified of all my future uploads. And for more dad, follow me all over the internet at TakeItDown_, and I will see you in the next video. Peace.